Ramsey, the Wichita Police Chief. I was just wanted to stop up and welcome. Today we were having Officer Brian Arterburn's returning home, and we wanted to welcome him back as a department and as a city. He's had a long, tough road, and he is a very brave and strong man. So we are glad that his recovery is continuing to the point where he can come home. We'll be welcoming him home this afternoon, and so I'd like to thank the community for all their support for Brian, and just let people know that he continues to recover, and he's very excited to be coming back to Wichita. So please respect also his and his family's privacy as he continues his recovery. But we want to welcome Brian home, and also thank everybody for their tremendous support of Brian and our department. So thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to let the community know in regards to, are there streets that are going to be blocked in terms of media? Should we stay away? What are...
Yeah, Charlie's been arranging that, and he can kind of give an update on that.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you saying a few words this morning. Yes, as the Chief was saying, Officer Brian Arterburn will return home today, November the 29th, from an extensive recovery process from injuries that he received during a hit-and-run incident on February the 7th. He's scheduled to arrive approximately 2 p.m. this afternoon and be welcomed by officers, and then he will return home. Since February, Officer Arterburn has been receiving medical treatment at facilities in Colorado and Texas. On February 7th, 2017, he was assisting with an investigation of a stolen vehicle and a known suspect with multiple felony warrants at a residence in the 2100 block of South Topeka. The driver fled the residence, and as officers attempted to stop the vehicle, the driver accelerated and refused to stop. Officer Arterburn was on foot and was run over by the vehicle, causing multiple critical injuries. The Wichita Police Department wants to thank everyone, and I say across America because we have literally received support from law enforcement in multiple states across the United States who've given their thoughts, their prayers, and support to Brian and his family. And we can ask again for continued thoughts and prayers as he adjusts now to being back home and continues his recovery. I know that Officer Arterburn and his family are very ecstatic about being home, and the Wichita Police Department is very ecstatic about him being home as well.
Will he be returning commercial flight, private flight, and what is the media protocol?
I did send a news release out that will give the details of the media protocol. Media will be allowed to be over at the location where he was when he flew out from the airport. So that's all detailed in the media release that I did send out to all media stations this morning. And he is returning home on a flight. It is an anonymous donor is the information I have at this point.
And for the public, I know that when he left, there was a big caravan of police vehicles that followed that ambulance. Should the public know some streets that need to be closed off?
Yeah, there's not going to be any streets that will be closed off. We'll be welcoming him at the airport when he arrives this afternoon at around 2 o'clock, and then he'll be leaving the airport after he's welcomed by officers to return home. So there won't be any street closures or anything like that, but we are excited. So please give a shout out on Facebook or Twitter to welcome Officer Brian Arterburn home. I'm wearing my blue today for that, blue for Brian. He's had an extensive recovery, and we're really glad he's home. I know his family and him are glad to be home. So continue lifting him up with your thoughts and your prayers as he continues to go through his road of recovery. Anything else? I got a couple other cases.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about
Oh,
Hillside.
okay. Got just a couple of cases we'll cover in our Interwatch from yesterday. First one is an arrest last night in the 1700 block of North Hillside. It's in reference to case number 76238. Heard about 5 p.m. last night. On Tuesday, November 28th, approximately 5 p.m., officers were following up on a homicide that had occurred in the 2800 block of South Hydraulic. That's, again, under case number 76238. This homicide had occurred on November the 5th. Officers had observed the suspect involved in the case enter Hillside. Officers moved into the area, and the suspect was arrested without incident. A 16-year-old male was arrested and booked into jail on his warrant for first-degree murder.
Which case was it, Charlie?
The one on South Hydraulic, 76238. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2800 block of South Hydraulic. I know we did a release on it. OJOP came and spoke about that case previously.
Which case was it?
I'll have to get all the details of the case.
Was this the shooting at the phone store?
Yeah, I think so. Let me confirm the details, but it is in reference to that case, 76238, 2800 block, South Hydraulic on November 5th.
Are you guys looking for any other suspects involved in this case?
Not to my knowledge.
I think he's a juvenile.
He is 16?
It's obviously,
Yeah,
release his name.
Correct. I can't release a juvenile's name. Correct. 16 years old.
First degree murder?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Are there any other suspects being sought in that case?
Not that I'm aware of. All right. Talk a little bit about the shooting last night. Occurred in 5000 block of West Newell. Case number 81628. Occurred last night at 9:30. Tuesday, November 28th, approximately 9:30. Officers were dispatched to a shooting at a residence in the 5000 block. When officers arrived, they contacted a 32-year-old female resident of the home. She reported that she arrived home and noticed that someone had broken into her house and that she grabbed her shotgun out of her vehicle and walked to the front door when she observed a known 32-year-old male inside of the house. The suspect exited the residence and a physical struggle ensued. During the struggle, the suspect received one gunshot wound in the abdomen area. He then fled the scene on foot but was located by police and transported to an area hospital for medical treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. This is still an active and open investigation, as investigators are still working to determine all the details surrounding what exactly had occurred during this incident.
Is it a known suspect? How did they know each other?
It was her ex-boyfriend.
And did he walk away? Did he drive away? And where
He fled on foot,
Let him-
and then officers located him shortly later.
Where at?
I don't have the location where he was located, but he was located shortly later and taken to an area hospital for treatment.
And that was the residence of that female, right?
Correct.
And the shotgun was in her car?
That's what's being reported to us, correct, yep. That she retrieved it from her vehicle.
I'm sorry, what did you say you shot?
In the abdomen area.
Is he still in the hospital?
He is.
What will he be booked on if he...
We're still working to determine that. Still, that's why I say it's still active investigation currently, still working to determine all the details surrounding the incident.
But he did not live at that residence, correct?
Not to my knowledge. Or if he had, maybe he had previously. I don't have any information that he did at the time. Anything else? All right, again. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you know anything about a Christopher Douglas case who was arrested yesterday for, I guess he had arrested for a surveillance camera in his house?
Right, I did get some information this morning, and I have not been able to look at that information yet, but I will look at it as soon as we're done with the briefing here. I was tied up on some other things this morning, but I will get that information for you. Okay? All right, appreciate it.